When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that
Ciao, and welcome back to Pasta Amore, Pasta with Love. I'm Chef Joe Mele, and today on Pasta Amore, we are going to travel to Bologna. Not only are we going to travel to Bologna, but for a specific reason. If you didn't get a chance to watch Stanley Tucci Searching for Italy the last week, I believe, he visited Bologna. And I always thought I had the best Bolognese sauce in the world. Nothing could ever convince me that I was going to change it. Nope, I had the best. That was it. I was taught to it by an Italian chef, as a matter of fact. However, when I watched Stanley Tucci's show on Sunday, I came to find out there's the original Bolognese. There's that one, and then there's all the rest, no matter what you do to it. So I said to myself, I pride myself on being authentic, always wanting to search out the most original, true to its culture recipes and ingredients. So I said I would be really remiss if I didn't go on, do a video in honor of the original recipe, in honor of Stanley Tucci, thank you very much. Also in honor of the person who published that recipe. His name is Pellegrino Artusi. He was the founder of the slow food movement in Italy. He published this recipe all the way back in 1891. So from then, it has been adapted, adopted, changed, bastardized in many different forms. Everybody, including me, thinks it's a tomato-based sauce. I think there has to be half pork and half beef. There's garlic, there's herbs, there's none of that. This is a very simplistic recipe. So what is in it? All right, so I have everything laid out here, okay? I have about 4 ounces of finely chopped onion, 4 ounces of finely chopped celery, and 4 ounces of finely chopped carrot. Onion, celery, carrot, that's our standard mirepoix, right? For all those who know that. No garlic, anywhere. Funny thing, when I went to Italy and talked to chefs and just people over there, I say, how come you guys don't use a lot of garlic? And he said, that's just an American myth. He said, we like to kiss too much to use all the garlic that you say we do. So anyway, there you have it. After those, we have 8 ounces, a half pound of finely chopped pancetta. You know that cured but unsmoked pork belly. Okay, this is, and I really hate to use bacon instead of this. I want to be as true as possible to this recipe. So I have my 8 ounces of finely chopped pancetta, right? I have about 20 ounces of ground veal. Yes, veal, that's the original recipe. I have milk, unheard of, right? 2 cups of milk. I have a cup of beef broth. I have a half a cup of tomato paste. That's the only tomato product in here, folks. I have 4 ounces of white wine. I have freshly ground pepper and salt. And to finish, I have some Parmigiano Reggiano and a little bit of heavy cream just at the end. That's it. So let's do this, okay? Let's go ahead and start our recipe. All right, a really hot pan. Let's hope my smoke doesn't go off. Otherwise, we'll have to start this whole thing over. I think it's going to any minute now. So what you want to do is get that all rendered down, right? You want to let all that fat. You notice I didn't put any olive oil, any butter in the pan. Hot pan, diced pancetta, let it render. That's coming nicely. And this is not a cook all day type of sauce, okay? This is, after each stage, after everything's cooked, we just move on to the next part of this. Okay. I think we controlled the smoke there a little bit, but you always want to start that in a nice hot pan, okay? So at this point, that's what you got. And we're going to let that cook there a little bit. Now, the Italians thought so much of this recipe that in 1982, they issued a proclamation, an official document that goes in the archives in one of the museums in Bologna, an official proclamation. And I'll put a picture of that proclamation up on the video when I post it. So this is recognized worldwide as the one only true recipe of Bolognese. So from now on, what am I going to do about my recipe? I can still use it because I love it. I'm just going to say it's a ragu. It's a meat sauce. It's a ragu. It's a hearty ragu. Okay? I no longer will call that my Bolognese sauce because nothing else can be called Bolognese unless it is this sauce. And I know a lot of you out there, always stop being so true to the, this is my responsibility as a chef, as an Italian chef, to honor the original recipe. All right, so now you can see, okay, we got our pork nice and rendered. It's giving out a lot of fat. So now I'm going in with all of my aromatics, which remember are our veggies and things that are going to give this flavor. And then little by little, all these little plates will disappear on the table, and then we'll go to the pasta portion. All right, so all that's in, beautiful. Everything is evenly cut, okay? You can see all of those ingredients. You want to make sure you got nice, even knife cuts. Okay, the next thing that will go in is our veal. Okay, let's consolidate here a little bit. All right, so let's talk about the pasta. I know a lot of people say, oh, spaghetti bolognese, that's the classic. It isn't really the classic dish. Going back to Bologna, which, by the way, is an amazing culinary city. Let's talk about the ingredients that come from Bologna. Obviously, Bolognese sauce, number one. In Modena, we have balsamic vinegar. That's 2. In Parma, we have Parmigiano Reggiano. And we also have, from Parma, prosciutto di Parma. There's 4 classic ingredients right off the top that come from this region of Italy called Emilia-Romagna. Okay? Also, it's called Bologna el Grasso or Bologna the Fat, meaning it's rich in culinary ingredients. There's another ingredient that comes from Bologna, one of my all-time favorite foods to eat. If anybody wants to give me a Christmas present, give me a big, huge mortadella, right from Italy. That's that bologna-like cold cut that has big pieces of pork fat and pistachio nuts and peppercorns going through it. It's sublime. Okay. So think of all those ingredients. And then we have classic, it's a fresh pasta city. So I know I started out talking about what pasta goes with this. Don't forget that tortellini was created there. All right? And tortellini in brodo is the classic dish from Bologna. But the pasta that we're going to serve with this is not a dried spaghetti pasta. It's called tagliatelle. It looks like fettuccine. However, there's a slight difference. Fettuccine is like a 1/4 inch wide. If you get a ruler out, tagliatelle is the same thing, only it's 3/8 of an inch wide. A little wider than fettuccine and a little narrower than pappardelle. Okay? So that's the pasta we're going to make to accompany our dish today. Oh, this is bellissimo. All right, so we've sweated our vegetables, right? Who remembers what sweat means? You in the corner. Yes, you're all right. We're cooking fat without browning. Okay, that's what we're doing here. All right, so they're nice and tender. Now we're going to go in with our veal, on vitello. And now we want to get that all broken down. Mix it with our veggies. And we're going to let that cook in here until it all cooks through, gets nice and brown for us. All right, we're going to let that cook. You can hear me a little bit better now. The fan's off. Okay. So while our veal is cooking, we're going to go back to talking about the pasta. All right. So I did our usual 5 eggs and a pound of durum. All right. Jumped ahead a little bit, so I don't think you need to watch me make the dough again. However, since this dough has been resting, I have my trusty pasta machine. I want to show you, well, first of all, we don't have cutters for tagliatelle. We have a fettuccine cutter on here, but we do not have a tagliatelle cutter. So yes, you guessed it. We're going to make the sheets, the sfoglia. Then we're going to roll the sheets up and we're going to cut this by hand into tagliatelle noodles, okay? So, again, it's important that you stretch this, manipulate this nice and thin so that it can go through our macchina, our machine. All right. So we have this, and then I'm going to show you something a little technique different today on the pasta. Yeah, believe it or not. Okay. So we're going to get this started. Okay. And proceed as we usually do, right? Finishing the kneading process right in the machine. This dough is perfect consistency today, people. Okay, so now I'm going to start making thinner and thinner. And you're going to see what happens as we go along with this. I want to stop because I want to go back to my... So we're starting to get some color on our veal. I'm trying to time this so the sauce gets done, the pasta gets done, water's boiling, and we're just going to cook and mangiare, okay? Okay. You continue doing what you're doing. I'm going back over here. I'm going to go down another notch. And then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to trim this up first. so it's all nice and even. Okay, so watch what I'm going to do here. I shut it off. I still got dough in the machine. I'm going to take this end and I'm going to hook it to this other end. And I think you already know what I'm going to do here, what's going to happen. Keep your fingers crossed. With any luck, this will work and it'll be very cool. So what I want is a continuous motion. Then I can manipulate my thickness as we go along. How cool is that? All right, that's cooking nicely. I think we're attached here. So look, no hands, Mom. So now I've got this thing just rolling over itself in the machine. And now if I want, I'll move that up a notch. Let it keep going. It's a beautiful thing. Did you ever think you were going to find this tip? Not really. Always something new. Okay, beautiful. Now I can do two things. I can multitask. Hey, hey. All right. So this obviously is going to get bigger and bigger as we go along. Well, we're way out here. And I don't have to stand there and feed every time. That's looking good. I think one more notch. I got to put my glasses on. Oh no, we're right where we should be. Look at this. No, I'm gonna hey, I'm gonna be out the window soon. All right, so what do? We shut that off. We take our knife and turn the machine back on. Take your cue, machine. Okay. So look, all done. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut this probably in like thirds. Uno. Cut this one in half. Do it. It's right. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I have my 3 sheets with my spolia. I'm going to take a little dusting flour and I'm going to go right along here. So my sheets are nicely floured, and then I'm just going to start folding. Okay? So I got 1. 2. Okay, loosely folded. You know I didn't crease. I don't want this to stick together. Dust those sheets. Fold, fold, fold. So I have 3 sheets, 3 packets right now, but I have to go back here because look at that. It's beautiful. I haven't seasoned yet either. All right, so now the next step is the milk. 2 cups. And what's that going to do? You guessed it, it's going to simmer. Okay? Turn up my heat, let that simmer. Move everything over a little bit more. Okay, so now I have my trusty knife, okay? And I have here. I already got one nest done. I'm going to a little flour, and then I'm going to okay, so I cut those, and now I'm just going to do this. Fluff them up. Okay, get them in a little nest. Transfer them to my tray. Okay, same thing. A little dust. And then a little cut. A little shake them out. A little nest. And one more. Okay, this is what they used to do in the old days before the macchina. All right, so if you look here, I've got 4 nests all ready for when my sauce is done, okay? A little dusting over there, beautiful. Okay, let's look at our sauce here. Okay, you see it's white, right? Last time you saw bolognese that white, I don't think you ever have, okay? But we're just going to let that cook. Actually, I'm going to taste a little right now just to see where we're at. Right now it's strong in the aromatics, onion, celery, carrots, the pancetta is coming through. The veal doesn't have a ton of flavor yet, but it will. In about a minute, I'm going to add the tomato paste and the beef broth. Cook that down. Then I'm going to add the wine. Okay. So I have now my tagliatelle. Okay. Beautiful, classic bolognese. That's ready. So that's it for now. Right? We are gonna finish this. We are gonna taste this today. So think about what we're doing here today. If you like what you see here, this actual recipe, just what we just did, this could be a virtual class that we could do together in your home. Okay? If you want to replicate Pellegrino Artusi's recipe, and all this credit goes to, I'm just the vehicle today. I'm the messenger. I don't, you know, it's not about me. It's not about pasta more. It's about Pellegrino Artusi. It's about being true to the original recipe. All right, so we're going to go in with our tomato paste. Half a cup. Stir that in. And now you're going to see that color change, obviously. And the flavor as well. Oh, bellissima. I'm going to go in with my beef broth. So here's what we got going on now. Okay, that changed totally. So I would say it's like an orangey, sort of pinkish sauce. And I'm going to go in with a little bit of salt and pepper. And then let all those flavors marry together. We haven't put the wine in yet. Totally changed. Totally. Really good. All right, so I have my cheese, my formaggio. I also have my bowl ready. Okay, when you're doing this, always want to have because you're going to go from here to mangiare. Okay, so we want to make sure we have our plate ready, our cheese. Okay, good. So, going back to the classes, once again, I would love to visit with you all in a class right by your side, but we know that's not possible, but this is definitely doable. I mean, you're going to give up maybe 2 hours of your time, and you're going to learn an incredible new recipe that not many people, you can go out and say, hey, I know the real Bolognese, because I did it with Chef Joe on Pasta More. Okay? All right. All right, we're going to go in with our white wine. Bubble, bubble. Now I'm going to turn up my pasta water, because once that reduces again, and like I said, I want to time this so that my pasta goes in the water, the sauce finishes cooking. We go from this pot to here, toss, 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 always, right? And that's it. Okay. If any of you also have school-age kids, say from 8 to 16, you know I used to be the culinary director for Camp Master Chef Junior. Since that isn't running anymore, what I did, however, is list my services on OutSchool. That is a virtual cooking website for kids. And I posted a couple pasta classes for kids on that, and that's outschool.com, I believe. So you can look up and type a search Chef Joe, Pasta with Love. I can't use the Pasta More thing, but I can do the Pasta with Love, Chef Joe pasta cooking classes. So if that's something else that you want to do, and you can come on with your kid, with your child, I want to be correct. I don't want to get canceled by anybody. God forbid. Okay, that's reducing nicely. And my water's coming back up to boil. And I'm going to do a little house cleaning here, housekeeping. So before I serve, I always want to make sure, before I have a disaster here, that everything out of the way. I need this, I need my grater and my fork. I'm going to go in with a little bit of heavy cream, about 2 tablespoons or so. And now, I don't know if you can see this, but it's really looking like a pink sauce, okay? And then you're going to see where the fat and the tomato paste, they're going to make like this little bit of a coating on top, because the pancetta fat, that's all good stuff. Leave it in there. Don't do anything with that. I'm going to go in again and taste, because we are almost there. Some of that veal. Now a delicate veal comes through. Really nice. And this is going to be accented by the Parmigiano at the end. Okay. And this, by the way, will serve probably like 4 people, I'm guessing. unless it's our family, and it might serve 1 or 2. But normal people, 4 servings, okay, maybe a side dish or something else you got going on. But I think this is best enjoyed on its own, okay? You don't want to compromise the flavors of this classic dish at all, at all. Okay, we have our pasta, tagliatelle, ready to go in the water. Okay. Tongues, give it a little turn. Right, make sure, again, your water tastes like the sea, right? You always salt your water, right? Okay. All right, so our tagliatelle is in the water. That's going to take like 2 minutes, maybe. I need a little more of this. And another little pinch of this, because we are right at the end. And now, and I want to keep that on again as I cook. Okay, so I have my trusty skimmer here. I'm going to go in. Move my pan right close by. And right into here. I can't remember the last time I used a colander. I just love going right from my pot to my sauce, always. All right. So, how does that look? That's a beautiful thing right there, right? All right. Now I'm going to go in here, give it a little, make sure, right? We always toss these noodles. Let's get those totally enrobed with this sauce. I love that word, enrobed. All right, so we're going to pick up. Artusi. Clean up our edges, and let's get a little more of this beautiful sauce. Oh. Okay, so final touches right here. And bellissima, we have our original 1891 Pellegrino Artusi tagliatelle Bolognese. We got a taste. My dog is down there and below my feet waiting for something to fall. He gets fed a lot that way. Wow. This is the first time for me. Never had this original recipe before. Again, the Italians blow me away with their simplicity, their respect for ingredients, and just less is more, always. But you never know what you're going to find here at Pasta Amore. I'm always searching for something really good, authentic, tasty, and easy for you. Okay, so check me out online, www.pastamore-llc.com, or go to OutSchool if you have a child and you want to do pasta cooking classes. Otherwise, hopefully I'll see you in person at some point in the very near future. Ciao, ciao, everybody. Thanks for watching. Buon appetito.